to Arizona, where dueling protests are in the works right now. Thousands of Americans on both sides of the state's new immigration law fired up. And if Tracy is right, those supporting the crackdown on illegals now have 500 million more reasons to be angry. All right, Tracy, what do you mean by that?
Look, Cher, the president is asking for $500 million and 1,200 more troops to go down there and secure our borders. Why? Let Arizona do what they have to do, and they're doing it for free. And the illegals are leaving on their own because of the threat of these new laws. Leave them. Let them be. Don't spend any more money. Allow the states to control it.
Mark, I mean, her point is well taken here. I mean, illegals have been leaving. First, it was the economy. Now, due to the new law, I mean, maybe Arizona's onto something here.
You're going to make me pull out my secret weapon, the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution says that Arizona can't go it alone. If you don't like it, argue with the Federalists, argue with the founders. But ever since 1787, the Constitution says there is one federal immigration law. You don't like it, tell the Republicans to stop filibustering and pass comprehensive immigration
Your
reform.
administration has thrown this Constitution out the window since pretty much the inauguration at this point. So I don't even know how you could wave the flag, your little flag, thinking that's going to work.
John, I mean, we are talking about $500 million now that's going to go to border security. I mean, maybe the state should just kind of keep this on their books because the U.S. taxpayer overall is pretty much burdened to the hilt right now. John Layfield?
Yeah, the U.S. taxpayer is burdened to the hilt, but you have to understand Arizona is completely broke right now. They're one of the sand states who had massive problems in real estate. They don't have the tax revenue to support this. And while Mark has this fire bad, water good, that all Democrats are good and Republicans are all bad, that simplistic view doesn't work when you have a crisis like this.
John,
we've
you
had
gotta respect the
23,000
Constitution,
murders.
don't you? Does this mean anything
Wait, let
to
me
you?
finish. Mark, let me finish. It means a lot to me. It means the world to me. And I actually agree with you that the federals are the ones who should take care of this border security. I'm for moving Fort Hood or Fort Bragg to Tombstone, Arizona, and letting our soldiers, during their time off from these wars overseas, patrolling the borders themselves. But I think it is a federal problem. It is a national security issue.
But wait, I mean, maybe at the end of the day, it's better for states to take on this problem, in particular a state like Texas or Arizona or New Mexico, because they're the ones that are dealing with the issue. And then, again, you leave the U.S. taxpayer out of this debate and off the hook.
Well, you can't. Mark does hold up the Constitution and does say that. The only problem, Mark, with that is the Constitution is not being enforced. The word illegal before the word alien. You're not enforcing the law. The Constitution, if you enforce the law that the federal government has, it's much worse than the Arizona law when you talk about racial profiling. They can stop anybody under any circumstance, the Immigration Service, and ask for their papers. In Arizona, you can't do that. Arizona, you have to suspect the guy of violating some other law before you can ask him about that. So you're all wrong about this thing about the Constitution, holding it up as if this is magic somehow.
Hold on, guys. Jonas, I want to bring you in because, again, I want to go back to this $500 million that we're talking about. I mean, I've got deficits through the roof in this country. I mean, maybe immigration, maybe the state issue is just not what Americans need to be worried about spending money on right now.
Well, yeah, neither the federal government nor the state. I forget the Constitution, so they neither can afford to pay for this. And why does solving this immigration supposed problem have to cost taxpayers money? If they're here for jobs, I mean, they're coming here to work. Why wouldn't you just fine employers for hiring illegal workers and make this profitable to the Treasury? Why do you solve it by spending more government money? And by the way, getting to the first second, we had a problem with the pyramid of the Ponzi scheme of Social Security or the chain letter. More people, more immigrants to tax is the solution to keeping that chain letter going. So we're kicking ourselves here.
Jonathan, I think Jonas has quite the capitalist plan here. What do you think?
He gets it. I mean, the troops, Cheryl, the fence, it's a waste of money. Protecting the border, I know of no Islamic terrorists that have come through Mexico. Our enemies are in Tehran. They're not picking lettuce in Yuma, Arizona. And by spending all this money, preventing people from coming in here, we're preventing productivity. We've talked about many times, immigrants come to work to be part of this country, to add to it. The $500 million is nothing compared to the productivity that they bring to this country. So the more money we spend keeping them out, the more Arizona shoots themselves in their own foot.
Oh, my God, I agree with Jonathan.
Legal immigrants, Jonathan, legal.
Well, I mean, but Mark,
Not illegal.
Mark, a lot of folks have talked about the idea. Why not just, set up a little shop at the border? You come in, we'll give you a card, but you're going to be paying taxes on everything that you earn in this country. I mean,
that's fine. That's comprehensive immigration reform. Remember, in 2006, 23 Republicans signed on to comprehensive immigration reform when Bush was president. Now, all of them have flip-flopped, including John McCain, now that Obama is president. If they'd put politics aside and vote for the same thing they supported 4 years ago, this problem would have been resolved a long time ago.
Tracy, you agree with that?
Well, I mean, you know what? This notion of putting politics aside is a joke because we're still sitting here blaming Bush. I think we need to think about this big picture. Jonathan is dead on. These people work really hard. But Wayne is right. They're illegal. And the rest of us that are here legally and that are paying the bill just bothers us at night. So we need to be able to fix this the right way.
Get rid of cash.
We enforce the law against murder. We enforce the law against murder, which is a state law. Murder is not a federal crime. It's a state crime. If illegal can be enforced by Arizona, let them enforce it.
Yeah.
Amen.
All right. Well, John Layfield, I want to give you last word on this because I know that this is dear to your heart. Again, I mean, do you think that it would be cheaper just to let, say, Texas, for instance, deal with it on their own?
No, because they don't have the money and they don't have the assets to do this. They can't call the Texas National Guard and employ those guys on the border at any type of long stretch because the state simply can't afford it. It's not an either or. Go after the employees who are hiring illegal aliens, but you also got to secure the border. Look, you've had 23,000 murders on this border because of the drug war. It is unsafe for our citizens of the country. You've got to secure this border.
That's very sad, but very true point. Leaving it there, guys. Thank you. Well, folks, trouble in paradise